to head to work. I'm literally a minute away. Yeah, after I finished editing, I was like, I don't wanna film, you know. So it was a long night of editing yesterday, but we're here now, and I'll catch you guys when I go inside for the new video, which I think might have to deal with my studying habits. I think we'll see. So many ideas planned, and yeah, look forward to sharing the journey with you guys.
What we do here is go back.
So, about the video. So in this video, you're going to be seeing me showing you how I study, especially centered around the iPad and all the technology I have to my disposal. And I've started to use the iPad since second term of freshman year. And I was influenced by one of my friends. I'll shout him out, Sam. He's been using an iPad way before I have, and just seeing what he could do on it was pretty amazing, and inspired me to get an 11-inch, one of the new iPads. And I've been able to take notes, record lectures, do things I probably would not be able to do given an actual notebook. And what's amazing about recording the lectures is that when recording the lectures and taking notes on the iPad itself, the app that I use, Notability, allows you to go in sync. So when you play back your lectures, you can play back the lectures as you were writing a specific thing in your notes, which is pretty amazing. Another feature is copy and paste. You can copy and paste images that you see that are related to the lecture or your notes, and also side-by-side option, which is really cool, especially when referring back to notes of similar content and whatnot. And also, like, when I used to write notes, I used to have pen and paper and erasing and all that. It was really tedious, but with the iPad, there's no problem. You could use the snipping function and specifically find what you're trying to cut, which is really handy. I'm about to enter the highway, so I'll see you guys later. So, I know I've been ranting a lot, especially my last videos, ranting in the car, so to speak, but I'm trying to include more illustration of the ideas that I'm bringing forth to you guys, and like anything related to what I'm saying. So, I talked about more of the technology that I use and the program I use and whatnot, but let me talk about something that applies regardless of if you use technology or don't. So there's different study skills that you can use, and I'll list about like 10 or so of them. So the first one is setting a study schedule. I know a lot of you know that, but it's something that we can't take for granted. Making a schedule allows you to prioritize what's important and what's not as important but needs to be done at the same time, and also knowing to work on the fly, being flexible with the coursework that you're doing and in what order and at what time you're doing it, and also with the study schedule, there's also other chores that you do, so you have to accommodate for any activities that you do outside of studying itself. But studying should always be number one. Number two is studying in the proper setting. So setting, I know a lot of you know setting is a place, but setting also includes time and the frequency at which you study, so to speak. So if you study every day, that in that setting, where you study, some people like studying in groups. Like sometimes I like to sit with people, motivates me to study, versus others who need that private time. They need to stay separate from others and free from distractions. Having all the materials you need, pen, pencil, but for me, the iPad, a charger. I need that to keep my materials working, so to speak. And other like study tools that you use, like flashcards or a study buddy who helps you remember things. Number four, this is something I find so common on YouTube and other websites. Too many motivational videos. Sometimes I would feel down. I would try to find a motivational video, but there was not one single one. A lot of them are honing in on the same points that you don't really, in hindsight, you don't really need to look at a video for inspiration. You don't need to be inspired to be motivated, so to speak. Motivation comes from inside, and your ability to look in the long term and see what being self-motivated can do for you, and them showing you that you don't really need motivation from the outside. It all comes from within. And on that note, if you can't study at a specific time, you could always take a break. There's no problem with that. It's actually better than sitting down trying to study for a long chunk of time. It's more proactive. It's important to be proactive and engage in activities such as, if you're religious, like I try to be make prayers, exercise, walk outside, that type of thing. So my fifth point is being organized. So if you look at my notes, I try to be organized. The app that I use allows me to separate my subjects based on the notes that I have. So organization is much easier. So I could keep track of when I'm taking notes, the lectures, recordings in conjunction with those notes, which is really handy. And you can also name your notes too, which allows you to keep track of the concepts that you learned that day and whatnot. And my sixth point is having a student planner. Not everyone needs a planner, but keeping record of your assignments and staying track of deadlines is really important. So if you look at my calendar, let's say I have on August 20th, let's say I have something due. The best thing for me is to set the due date a few days in advance, or even a week in advance, depending on how major the assignment is. So if it's a 5-page essay, I might do a week to have a bunch of buffer time in case anything happens during that time. And so for me, I have vacation with my family, so I have to do that ahead of time in case there's no internet connection wherever we go. So number 7, I talked about this before. It's having different study techniques. If one technique doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. There's so many other ones. And this one is, I guess, how you study. So people can use Study Buddy for memorization, or flashcards to help with recall and whatnot. And or one more is also like listening to lectures. So these types of ways stir up your visual memory, your acoustic memory, like by hearing. There's even smell. There's people have smelly highlighters. Really unique ways. And the last thing is in relation to the schedule, reviewing your material on a frequent basis. Something that I fail to do is I study something, I'll be like, I'll put it off tomorrow, I have other tasks to do, but if you don't allot that time for you, it's never going to be allotted. And before you know it, the day before the test is going to come, and you're going to try to study, and it's really hard to cram in one night. You shouldn't take that point as a grain of salt. I've had so much experience where I procrastinated to maybe the night before, 2 nights before, but I felt if I put that in my schedule to study every day at a specific time or whatnot, it will make a big difference. Just studying 30 minutes to 1 hour, it's not going to hurt, and it will help keep that memory running, and even process it for your long-term memory, which is much better. For me, like in dentistry or medicine, you're going to have to use that material later on because everything is related at the end of the day. So thank you guys for watching that video. If you really enjoyed it, make sure you like and subscribe, and comment down in the section below any feedback you want to give me. I would love and implement into my videos. And also, I'm going to try to make these videos around 10 minutes, I want to make sure that it's quality over quantity, and that the videos are applicable to our daily lives, especially lives related to mine. And I also need to plug my social media, so follow me on Instagram, add me on Facebook, what else is there, Snapchat, and I'll link them down below, so please follow up. And I'll try to post 2 times a week. I'll try my best to stick to that. If I don't, I'll do my best to make up for it. And until then, I'll see you guys next time.